let's go. The story of somebody's life, journey, a moment in time, oh it could mean nothing without a husband and a housewife.
Hello and welcome to the 4th episode of A Husband and a Housewife. I'm Joe Sealey and I'm joined today by my lovely assistant, the Furor, Nicole Sealey. How are you, Nicole?
I'm good. I'm trying to find a nice filter because I'm looking a bit rough this morning.
See, she's back on Instagram. She doesn't concentrate and we're talking about the phone again. This is
I know,
why
well, I've got to find a nice filter. It's really important at my age with these wrinkles.
So what I'd like to do today, we're joined by a guest today and it's a good friend of mine, TV star, Ashley Taylor Dawson. How are you?
I'm very
Say
well,
hi,
mate.
Ash.
Thank you. Hello, guys. Yo. Thank you for having me on
Say
this
hi,
show.
Joe.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Well, we're really pleased to have you.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say no when I called you.
Really? I'm going to say no to you. You can't, can you?
Well, actually, what happened was last week, Nicole, I thought that Nicole said she was getting the guest, and then I listened back to last week's show, and she didn't actually. She actually said we'll flick a coin, didn't you?
I did.
So it ended up being me that got the guest, and you were my first port of call.
Well, that's an honour, a privilege.
I was so happy when you said yes, because I literally only got about 3 people I can invite.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great what you're doing. It's good, and podcasts and stuff are the way forward. I think people love to kill their time, especially now. So it's good.
Yeah, well, we're trying our best, and this is the 4th week, and we're getting some good coverage now, so we're going to carry on. So Ashley's picked the winner of last week's competition, and it's Gavin T. Now, Gavin, I will contact you after the show to agree to pay you your money. So you're the winner.
Well done.
Well done, Gavin.
So Ashley,
Well done, Gavin.
I've been looking at your career. Wow. Wow. So you just tell me if I'm wrong. 21 years on Hollyoaks.
Probably a span of 21 years, yeah, with a gap in between, yeah.
You had a gap in between. Yeah. How have you done that? 21 years.
I don't know, mate. You can't get rid of me. I've been shot, stabbed, been in bombing, spin and everything. I'm like the 50 Cent of the soap world in some way. Well, I'm nothing like him, but it's I've been very lucky there. I've had a great time. I was in it for a year when I was 17 and then left and abandoned a TV show for 3-4 years and then came back.
So are you the longest serving cast member?
I'm not, no. Nick Pickard has been there since the beginning, which is 25 years.
Is that Tony?
That is Tony the Face, yes. He was a wonderful human being.
I used to watch that then. I remember you coming in it. You lived in the dog when I watched it.
I think he was quite hot when you first come on.
Oh, cheers. Come right downhill though.
Do you know what I mean? We all get older. I do think us and the girls had a little bit of a soft spot for him. I'd forgotten
Well,
about
I've got
that.
a bit of that later on. But to be honest, when I first met you, it must be like 6 years ago, and we play football together, don't we?
Yeah.
We tried to play football, you mean?
Yeah. My son is a huge Hollyoaks fan. He still is. He's 18 now, but he still is. It's still recorded every day.
And I think you're his fave, actually.
Yeah, and he was like, Dad, that's Darren.
Is that when you played football?
Yeah, that's actually, he plays Darren, he's Darren. And he was so excited. Do you remember?
Yeah, he was.
But you've done unbelievable. I mean, you've done Strictly Come Dancing. Mm-hmm. What was that like?
It was bizarre. It was something I thought I would never do. It's something I didn't actually ever want to do. It was my idea of a nightmare, really, to go on TV and dance. And I just thought there's no way you'd ever catch me doing that. And I had an ongoing joke with my brother-in-law about it. He said, you should do that. It'd be great for you. I was like, no way would you ever catch me on that.
It sounds like Joe.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
And then I had my second kid on the way. And things change, don't they? You start having children and your priorities change. And I get a phone call from them saying, we'd like to see you for Strictly. I was like, oh no, because like I say, it was my idea of hell, really.
And was the call just out of the blue?
Yeah, just complete out.
Really?
I was in a beer garden down in Kent and I get this answering machine saying, hello, Ashley, we'd like to speak to you about Strictly Come Down. I was like, oh my days. And then it's, as you know as parents yourself, it changes the goalpost, doesn't it? And I was like,
it's a huge show, isn't it?
Well, it's the biggest show on TV, so you can't turn that down. And first of all, it was quite humbling that they wanted me and they wanted to even see me. So, but then it's like anything, like playing sports. It's a game then, and you don't want to lose. You want to get in it and you want to get in the show. And
did you win?
I didn't win. No.
So you basically...
Did you come second?
I didn't come second.
Did
So you basically lost.
I can't. Yeah, I'm a loser. Is that what you're saying? Right? So I'm ugly now and I'm a loser. We're pointing that out. I'm over the moon. I'm glad I came. Cheers, Joe.
Yeah, I was going to be nice. I've got about a calendar.
How many years you been married?
So where did you come?
No, you still got-
I think I got to the quarterfinals.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, that's
so you did
good.
the live show?
Yeah, it was really tricky. I was filming full time. Listen.
Okay.
Bad smart, but I basically got in the studio at 9:30 at night, and I was there till 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's not
and
bad.
because it was full time at Hollyoaks, and it was such a shame because everyone else gets the whole day, and
They
you go
do,
for
yeah.
lunch, and to have had that experience would have been incredible. But I lost loads of weight, and it was. Yeah, I don't boo-hoo it. It was an incredible experience. It's just been nice to be able to do it properly.
And I don't think...
I think that's amazing you did both.
Yeah, I do. Because
I had the baby in the middle of
Because
it.
most people...
Yeah.
I had the baby on the 4th day into
I know
it.
a couple of people that have done it. They've all literally took 10 weeks off and just done that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it. That's what you should
Full
do.
time.
That's
Yeah.
what you should do. But I didn't really get any
people,
help.
and I
Wow.
don't think people, and it's only by doing what I've been doing that I appreciate how much time filming takes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, and it's tiring, exhausting. I mean, my memory is like a sieve. So for someone like you that's got to remember lines, that's quite draining, like, and tiring. I
and
suppose
you're
you're
learning
used to
lines
it.
as
I mean,
yeah.
that's,
You know,
that's
and-
the thing when you get home. But
Yeah.
the main thing, I leave the house. I mean, if you want to do the gym as well, I leave at 6:30 in the morning. I don't get back till 7:30
Yeah.
at night. So a normal day,
It's a long
it's
day.
over a 12-hour day
Yeah.
because it's full on, and there's not all working, but. That's the funny thing about this isolation time. You think, wow, the amount of time I spend just away from the family.
Yeah.
It's really sunk in, and all the pain and suffering aside, as in a selfish way, as a family man, it's been a bit of a gift. Because you'd never get this opportunity in your life.
And you've got
to
young
spend-
children, haven't you? So
Yeah, so I'm
especially-
homeschooling. I'm becoming the teacher and all of that, which is
How
hilarious.
Is that easy? Or is that really hard? Because you've got boys, haven't you?
Well, I've got 3 boys, yeah, so they're 9, 6 and 3. And as you can imagine, it's so Karen takes Mason, who's my 6-year-old, and I've got Buddy, and yeah, I've enjoyed it because you've got their attention. You know what kids are like.
Yep.
But because they know it's school now and these are the rules, they can't budge. You're not trying to grab their attention to do something you want and they're not interested. It's like, no, you got to do this, and we've got to find a fun way of doing it. So I think your whole their personality comes out more. You're just learning about your children.
Yeah. What's your top tip for homeschooling? Come on.
Patience. He said.
Let's just say, well, I'm lucky, basically, that mine are all adults, because patience isn't my
I tell you
strong
what, I've
suit.
only just realised, and I don't know why I haven't thought about this before,
Go on.
when you said it, I thought, people have got kids, they're teaching them at home. I've not put into my head, they've got different ages, different subjects, different levels.
Yeah.
And if you're a single parent and you've got 3 kids all
Very
at
difficult.
school, how are you doing that if it's 3 hours a kid? I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard, isn't
I've
it?
got a 3-year-old who just sits in between, and we're trying to keep him busy, just doing stuff in between. And it's it's hectic, but we've got into a bit of a flow of it, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's a challenge, and I like a challenge.
So when did your filming finish?
I think we were one of the sort of last to shut down properly. I don't even remember the date now. What is it? It's been 3 months now.
Must
Is
be.
it 4 months? Yeah.
And how much do they have in the bank? When did it run out?
They've been doing 2. I think they did 2 episodes a week, and then all the rest have been doing reruns. So I think that's been quite good for the show because they've showed all the
This
old
is on.
classics, and they've
Does that
got
mean
stuff
more
to
of
go
you
back
when you
on.
look hot?
Well, actually, I've done alright because for bloody everything for years. So when I was hotter, thanks, mate.
I think you look fantastic,
It
actually.
does, I'm only
I'm gonna
playing.
put my hat down now. There we go.
Now, you also play in the football team.
Yes.
Celebrity football Hollyoaks super team.
Yeah.
Can you get me in that team now? I'm on telly.
Oh, all day long.
Who's in
man.
goal for that team?
You could have got in anyway. You're like a wall. That's one thing I hate when you play. You play 5-a-side nets with him. I mean, first of all, he just stands in there when he takes up half the goal anyway. But he's still quick, and I can't believe it.
Who is the
Shocked.
keeper?
He is, isn't he?
Who is
For a
it?
big man, he's
for a
pretty
big
nimble,
man, he's
isn't he?
still got it. It's
Oh, I don't know.
ridiculous.
I don't know about that. I'm blushing. I
If only you were that quick in the bedroom.
Yeah, well, no.
think I'm pretty quick.
Yeah.
Who is
another
the
problem.
Who is the goalkeeper for that team?
It's got Alex Hendry. I like to call Alex. He's like a cat in net. He's very good.
He's rubbish. I'm betting.
And but I've got John the barman, the lad at my bar. He used to play semi-pro in there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So in Greece, so we got him in there. He's good. He's good.
Is he?
Yeah, we'll have a game.
I'm under pressure now.
Yeah.
I'm under pressure when we can play football again. I mean, that'll be fantastic. So you've enjoyed doing the family over with this because you're busy all the time. So you went running yesterday with the kids, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been running. That's a new thing I've found is just getting out. And you realise I think a lot of it's just getting out of the house, and it's just time to just reflect and put everything into and your boxes in your head, really, because I think it's a ground.
It's a mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think this is quite an interesting. I think it's obviously stuff that you've obviously been talking about, and I know I'm getting loads and loads of questions. How you sort of coping with stuff and that. So people that are stuck indoors, obviously it's not easy, is it? For some people, for you, you're lucky, like we are. That we've got obviously a family, we've got space. Not everyone's in that position, are they? We are very lucky, privileged. So what are your, apart from patience with schooling, if you are having a day where you think, God, which we all do, I think if you're in for 3 months, everyone's had an off day. What's your sort of tips? I know I get asked a lot what my tips are for if I'm having a down day. What's yours?
I think the main one, I think everyone must have found that, is to get out. And as much as we were saying, you've got to stay in it, and even at the beginning, you were allowed to go for a walk. You're allowed to, if you find a field, go and walk around the field and just breathe. And also with the kids, it's the same for them as it is for us, but they're not aware of it. They don't know the difference. They don't know that when we were kids, this never happened. For them, it's just normal. It was a game, or it isn't a game, or they don't even get it. And I think when you're in the house for that amount of time, and again, we are privileged that we live in a rural area, we've got fields around us, and this is where I can only sympathise with people in flats in cities, and with families, and not the space, because that's that. It's just space, isn't it? You need to find a way of. I think everyone needs that space, and as a partnership, I think you have to work together to give each other that space, because
there's been times,
I always say divorce lawyers will do well out of this, and things,
Well, for us, there's 5 adults in the house, and a little bit different from when you've got small children. People are like really focused on small children, but for us, we're 5 adults in the house, and emotions, with 2 girls, 1 boy, everyone having different feelings at different times.
One person always seems moody at some point.
So I think it's the adults that have got the issues, essentially, because if the adult's not got their head screwed on, the kids are going to suffer. So no matter what you say, and I think that's in normal life anyway, no matter what, there's some people out there who we really, there's a lot of mental health problems anyway, but I think everyone's realised what anxiety is now. No matter what, you can't help but be anxious about what's going on, whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's health, and I think everyone's got that in them, and I think it's opened everyone's eyes up to that as well.
Now, I was going to get onto this later on, but is this why you've got this freedom of thought?
Yes,
YouTube, Instagram, posting that you're doing. Is this where this come from? Well, tell us about it.
Yeah, well, Darren Osborne, my character on Hollyoaks, I've been doing a huge storyline about depression, basically, for the last year. And it's all coming to a head right now, actually. I think it's actually on tonight's episode of this.
We'll tune
live,
in.
is it? So is this live?
Well, no, it'll be on this afternoon.
It'll be on this afternoon, so it'll be tonight. And so normally as an actor, you get storylines, and obviously being there for thousands of years, it's I've been through everything. But when you get a storyline like something like depression, which is, I think everyone can relate to it or has been affected by it in some way, whether it's a friend, a colleague, or a family member. But it's always been a grey area for myself. I've lost 5 friends to suicide, but never really understood. There's all these questions you ask, and and these aren't my opinions, but some people think it's selfish, some people think it's this, and basically it's education. We don't know enough about it, we don't understand it, and so when I took on this role, you have to do your research, and it was a challenge because it is that subject that I've always thought, what is that about? So it's been, you got to dive right into it. And long story short, coming out of that, we've then gone into isolation when this storyline's going out, and the feedback I was getting from the show was overwhelming. You've got so many people opening up to you and pouring their hearts out in a way. And the hardest thing on social media, I find, is the response, because you take on one person's story, or it turns into almost a relationship. You start chatting to them, and it's almost like being, not saying that I'm a mentor, but they start asking you questions.
It is though that.
So I was trying to find a way to sort of have an outlet to sort of say, well, listen, guys, thank you everyone, and anyone opening up, it's incredible what you're doing. So I realised I'm a bit of a contradiction of the whole storyline that I'm trying to talk about, because I think we've all had a hard upbringing with my dad, and so it's that thing of finally putting yourself on the line and going, okay, be accountable for it. And if you can do that, I met a guy a while ago called Josh Connolly, who's a resilience coach. At a charity do, and I say it because at a charity do, in an ignorant way, we all go there, and let's face it, it's a bit of a piss up, and, and you're raising money, you've done your bit being there. You've done your bit. You're raising the money, and it's a celebration.
But you go home,
and
don't
you've
you?
got the auction, you've got this, you've got that, and those are the bits. And this is what a good charity do makes a difference. And this might sound, like I say, it might sound harsh, but the fact is, you're there, you raise the money, and everyone's there having a good time. So we're very lucky to be at these nights. This kid gets on the stage and goes, right, I'm just going to spend half an hour with you now talking about my story. And I was like, half an hour? And that sounds mad to some people. You go, well, that's really it's not. In a place like that, half an hour is a long time.
Yes,
Well, you're being honest,
And
though,
this
aren't you?
lad, I'm just being honest on here speaking to you, and this lad stood up there and you could hear a pin drop the whole time.
Yeah.
He was eloquent, the words he used, but he was, he'd had a very tough upbringing, but the way he took this story and where it went, and it related a lot to me and what I've been through. I just thought that was incredible. You've done it because he did it in the right way, and he just had it. The whole room. There was none of that murmuring shh, that you normally get, which is right because someone's.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I ended up ringing him and saying, "Listen, do you want to do something? Get together." And we chatted on the phone. He said, "Well, let's just do this, like what you guys are doing. It's interesting listening to people's opinions on things, and having a debate or whatever it may be." And it was just a way of opening up. Maybe giving a little bit more of me so people can relate to that, and just sort of saying to people, I'm there as well. We've all got something going on, and obviously right now with everything, with the isolation, and it's been the most crazy time ever. So it's more relevant than ever, and it was just a way for me to sort of say, well, there we go. Let's open up a forum and see if people make anything from it.
I can't tell you, or especially Nicole. We put it on our Instagrams last night. You were coming on. There must be 100 messages about this subject.
So people
More than
are
anything
and
about
lots
it.
of people.
I've got is he getting back with Nat? Is it Nancy?
Nancy.
We're getting that one. But this thing is blowing up on our Instagram massively. And I think what you've done is unbelievable, because actually it's really easy to go to work, do that kind of stuff, go home and put nice pictures of cars and nice lives on Instagram. Actually, when you're real. And you're giving that back, that's amazing, because I don't know what yours is like. You've got over 100,000 people, Nicole's got over 20,000. You can't keep up with the private messages. You can't.
But it's a good way of doing that, because it is difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not very present on it. I'm terrible for it. I can't sit there and take a picture of my burger and go, here's me eating a burger. People do that, and fair play to them, but I find it hard. I'm not a selfie fan. I don't like it. I found it hard doing the Zoom call, which I've been doing. I don't like sitting there. People think that's mad. You're an actor on TV, but I don't see myself when I'm doing it. And I just find it's not even a vanity, that I just don't enjoy it. It makes me feel eggy.
But he's quite.
Do you run your Instagram yourself then, or do you?
I do, and I've been useless at it, and I've never I never did it when I was doing Strictly. I never did that, and these are the things.
But now
this day
you
and
are.
age,
You're using the platform.
But I found the platform. And I found a way and an avenue that makes me feel. And it's like trying to. If it's helping one person, then you feel like you're getting something.
That's what
out
we
of
said,
it.
didn't we? That's exactly what we said.
I think in life you can do all these things, and you say, about the thing. I've been very lucky in my life, trying different things, doing different things, but you eventually go, well, what am I actually giving back, and what I'm actually. And when I took on this subject, it's sort of changed. And I've been on a crazy journey with it all.
It's time for reflection, isn't it?
Yeah, but my thing is, we do hold up this a mask. And my mask was like, even the I've done a music thing recently. I sing and everything. I ended up doing this song, but it killed me to do that. And because it was so, I've been on stage. I've done Wembley 4 times. I did Top of the Pops, and I've done all these incredible things. But it's not me. It's like being an actor. I'm putting on a face. This is what I do for a living. But when it actually comes to yourself, how much of that can you actually show? And we all, growing up, it's about being tough. It's about this and all these things you grow up with. And my upbringing with my dad, I almost learnt not to feel anything. So that's always been there, and you don't realise how much of that you've got. And I thought, I'm over that now. I'm actually sound me, but you sort of still live behind this tough outer, skin, which isn't a bad thing, and if you're happy with that, that's fine. But what I've tried to do is peel that back and realise how hard I've found that. But I think people receive it better, and at the end of the day, I put my heart on the line, and you feel. I think in a way, you take that rucksack off and you go, right, there we go. What do you want? I am. Yeah. And what I realise is because of the way I am, and I know you're the same. Yeah, I am. Well, no, I've got nothing to hide anyway. So what am I scared of?
No, exactly.
But you're scared. You do get scared, and it's quite pathetic.
But I'm quite
open about it. I think it's important.
Yeah,
when I wasn't. Yeah, I've had mental health issues. Yeah, right? I've had depression, 100%, right? And I've had drug treatment before about it. But I'm open. I talk about that stuff. It's not something I'm going to talk about today. But I've spoken about this on numerous occasions and numerous different other people's podcasts, newspapers. I'm happy to talk about it because what I think is what you said. By me doing it, if somebody's feeling like that, they can
Even
relate
blossom.
to it.
even one
See, I'm-
person, it just opens up that little avenue.
I'm
You don't
probably.
realise what people are like, but you don't want to do
Well,
that.
I mean, it's interesting.
She's like, don't tell no one.
Well, no, but it's really interesting. So being with Joe, who is quiet and speaks, and through things that we've been together 15 years, so a lot of stuff, and I'm actually a very private person, so it's really weird. You saying
just
about
on that,
yeah,
but your job as well, the job you hold down. Is it right to say it's a man's world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
But
absolutely.
you're the top of a job, which everyone, most
He's a
people
man.
under you is a man.
Yeah. I think you're the only female in it.
Well, I was certainly in
But
the
there's a
early
game in
days.
that, isn't there? And I think there is a time and a place where actually they don't need to know you. But this is what I've found is actually
He's
my
right.
thing isn't that. I mean, I've got the bar and I've got that, but
Yeah.
none of the things I've realised are anything I really need.
No, exactly. And I think it's interesting, like certainly around everything. So for me, you're talking about not watching yourself. So up until probably August last year, like one of the children actually said to me, Mum, if anything ever happened to you, because I literally hated having my photograph taken, like I mean it would literally make me, even from a little, I was like it from a very small child, always hated the camera, really always did, and so looking at myself was awful. Anyway, so I never really had a lot of social media. I had a Facebook when we got married, stuff like that. Anyway, cut a long story short, obviously doing the show,
Well, that must be massive for you.
it's been like very cathartic.
But this is what I mean. Without the biggest fear of your life, then turns into like,
I
and
think
it's
been a good release.
it's like opening a door and going,
Yeah.
actually everyone's okay. Yeah.
My mum,
Try this door over here. Let's see what this is
actually,
like.
my mum went. Actually, my mum said to me, like literally, is things she would have least thought I would do. My sister maybe, me,
Yeah, I agree.
100% not. I thought, certainly not reality
you've actually
TV,
enjoyed
like
it.
a snob, really.
You've enjoyed it.
I was like, oh wow,
You've
God,
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've actually because I think in life you if something keeps presenting itself, like you said with Strictly, or something keeps popping up, maybe you're supposed to try it. And I actually have got something out of it, and I actually think, like you said, doesn't actually matter what people
But
say.
exactly the challenge thing, it's Strictly, people would think, why wouldn't you ever want to do it? Now I definitely didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do even the reality thing, and it wasn't a snobby thing, because I go the other way with that. I realise as an actor, I've got a name. People shout down in the street. I don't have to turn around, and they don't know me.
Yes.
And that's a lovely little. And I suppose this is the cushion I was on about, and the face that I've always been able
Behind
to
you
play
can
on.
hide.
They don't know me really. I
They
can
know
put an
your
accent on if
character.
I want to. I can
Yeah.
beat you and chat to them. They wouldn't know the fucking difference. Can I swear on here? Jesus, it just came out. Excuse me, I was being weird. Sorry. And but it was one of them, and but as soon as you drop that,
They're
and
seeing
the
you.
thing is about the Strictly thing is you open yourself up to all that side, and even that was but what I've learned is that challenge is the best, and I think definitely as you get older, it's like any challenge, especially when you can learn something. I mean, if you're just throwing yourself in the dragon's den for no reason, but
I agree
like what
with
you're
that.
doing, it's an experience,
Yeah.
and even if it's an experience on how to handle yourself, control yourself, whether you need to give more or whatever it may be, it doesn't matter.
And you
if
look
you're
at
happy with yourself, it doesn't matter.
Well, I think what it gives you is a different dimension. Like I've always been the professional. I'm quite controlled, as in like you said, the industry I come from, and I really worried that people would judge me. And what actually, Joe was the one that encouraged me to do it, because we were looking at buying Mac, and I've sort of spoken about that. But actually, the big thing was, how would people perceive? I've got quite a serious job. How would people? And then I thought, I've done my job and run a business for 26 years.
What are you scared of?
I clearly can do my job.
But again,
if you want to
isn't it
judge,
funny, you give that and you go, and you go, actually, what am I even? And the thing is, and this is what
and
I'm
people
saying.
haven't.
Exactly what I was saying to you about once I've done it, I was like, what am I?
Yeah.
I'm still me, and if someone still comes at me with something, I'll give it them straight back. That hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And as you get,
People might, and it's almost childish, and it comes from your childhood. It's this fear of trying to maybe even fit in some way. And you think, hang on a minute, I'm already in. This is me.
Yeah.
And I've got. You get to a certain age, but I think we hold on to these, and we don't even know we've
boxes.
got them.
I've got lots of them.
That's what I was saying about the rucksack. But the fact is, it's almost like going
It's the
back to
same
school
thing.
and worrying about what people think. I don't care what people think
100%.
now.
I don't
But in my head somewhere,
Yeah.
that's what the fear was. And as soon as you've done it, you go, why was I bothered about that?
Yeah.
But I think if you go back if you go back to school when you're talking about that, so I was very. I mean, I'm pretty. I'm quite outspoken. But actually, as a small child, I come from a bit of a difficult upbringing, I suppose.
Yeah.
So and as a small child, I was a little bit. I remember going to school, and I never spoke to anybody, and I was probably a little bit bullied at that time. Like now, it would be more prevalent.
Bully
girls'
me.
behaviours out of you. But no, so I'm saying there are things that potentially carry on, aren't there?
Yeah.
But I think it's good to, when you get older, like we've all got a bit older.
But you've said that 4 times to him now.
No. I said we. No. But what I'm saying is, it's good to explore new things, isn't it? Because life, is about learning new things.
But it's
and exploring.
opportunities, I think that.
Yeah.
All this stuff. But like, I like what you said about walking down the street. Right?
Yeah.
And I've got to ask you because I know what you're getting, and you must be 100 times more.
Yeah.
You're more recognisable than Nicole.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Not for long.
Not when that centre Not when that centre
Right. So you're in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, come.
The missus has give you the hump. She's kicked you or whatever she's done. You've gone out. You're walking through Wilmslow, and someone shouts you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
what do you do?
It depends where you are, what it is, and the voice it's coming from. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I like people, and the buzz of that. I don't carry my problems with other people. I really don't. I'm quite easy to. I can switch on and switch off. If I'm annoyed with you, my issues with you. If you say hello, hey, how you doing, Dave?
Yeah.
I can switch on and switch off. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have it out with you later on. Do you know what I mean?
You're not like that. You, Nicole,
Yeah.
if she's got the hump with one person, the world's got a problem.
Yeah.
Don't know
I'm
what
like
you
that.
mean.
If I've got a problem with Nicole, I can be absolutely fine with somebody else. But what I've started to think is, you give that person 1 minute, right? Doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
Changes their day.
I believe that's your job, and if you're on TV, I mean, I know there's people who won't even sign something. It's like I don't agree with any. I think if you're in that position, you sort of now there's a difference between sitting down at a table with your family, and just about to put a spoon in your mouth, and you get a smack on the back, and it happens, man. I mean, you're there in the urinal.
You had it with your dad, didn't you?
You're in the toilet holding your bits, and someone's like, "Can I shake your hand?" And mate, for real, I said you can shake that if you want, but come on, man, what's going on? And people do it, and they just lose themselves. But at the same time, you got to appreciate what that's like for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it. One of the funny things is. My missus is called Karen. Yeah. So obviously when we walk down the street, and if we are in a rush or whatever, and someone goes, Darren, she'll go, what? Because she thinks they're shouting Karen. And I'm like, no, don't go. Hiya guys. Yeah. We're in a rush, we've got to go.
You got to stop, you got to stop.
No, it's, I mean, I like I said, I'm a people person. I think that's part of the job. And, it's nice to be nice, and you don't have to spend, more than the time you do. Do a photo for kids all day long and everything else. And I think if they want that, if they're going to mess you around and waste your time, I'm quite easy to just tell them to jog on. But I think if they want a photo, give them that. That's keeping you in a job for starters.
Exactly, but I mean, obviously since I've met you, I've always found you very personal.
Yeah, you're very personal.
Yeah, but you are a nice guy. I haven't heard anybody say,
A bit ugly, a bit older, but I'm getting there. Don't change your tune now, love. I see what you mean now, Joe.
He's got a calendar. Okay, where is this calendar? Do you still do calendars?
No, we don't. We stopped them years ago. You know what? The good thing about those is every year you knew you had to get in shape.
Incentive.
I've got down here. Shall we do a calendar?
Should we do a calendar?
Can you get me on a calendar or what?
Well, they don't do them. We don't do them anymore. And I'd cringe my ass off having a nice photo shoot with you, Dad.
I'd make you look good.
You and me in the bath. Lovely.
You've seen him in the bath.
Do you watch?
The water jumps out.
Do you watch the Real Housewives of Cheshire or not?
Yeah.
You don't watch it?
Of course, I do. Of course I do. For me, to live in Cheshire and see the show, it's part of the game, isn't it? And I love it. And obviously when I knew you two were on it, I was buzzing.
You had a good laugh.
By the way, I'm back on it tonight.
It's a reunion tonight. You've got at least a minute on there tonight.
Don't worry about the reunion, I'm on it.
He's got a minute. He's happy.
I love about things like that, and it's very interesting to see it because, and this sort of saying before about the reality thing, is I have that chance to switch off, but also it's very hard to be yourself. Because I know what they do on these shows, and I know how they mix the pot. And let's face it, if someone's there to wind you up all the time, they're trying to get the best out of you. And that's why I knew with yourself, I mean, you thrive off that, I think, as a person, and I'm like that. Yeah. But then even then you have to bottle it, don't you? But again, I'm not saying you're not a professional, but in your job, you hold yourself that way. And this is what we're talking about, maybe the mask. And the mask doesn't have to be a false mask. No. It's a business mask. We all have a mask throughout life, and that's it. When I go to the bank, I don't go in, pissed. You go and have a meeting because that's what you... But it's true, when I'm in the bar, I'm friendly and happy, those are the masks which are natural. But to go on a show like that, it's very, very hard, I can imagine, to just be yourself, because you're not in a normal, you know, as real as it is, and this isn't even taking anything away from any show. They're all the same, but I have utmost respect for people doing those shows, and also I know what I've got through being on TV all my life and everything else that comes with it. Not so much for this, but it's the same thing. As soon as you go onto that, it's exciting, you know, and if you want to call it fame or whatever, but that doesn't go away. But then when you're famous for being you, I can't imagine just
being
that
judged
alone, because then people do judge you for you. Yeah. And it's not necessarily you, it's you in that environment.
And can't.
And this is it. But, you know, something like Big Brother, those kids in the first, you know, in the first ones ever, I really felt for them. And a lot of these kids going out there, and everyone has this idea of they want fame, and it's like, there's a lot that comes with that. Now, you're a professional, you've got your lives, you've got everything, and this is almost like an added bonus, and you know, it's an adventure.
Yeah.
Whereas for some people going in, they might be working in a chippy.
Yeah.
They get on something like Big Brother back in the day, and then they become, let's say, world famous, you know, nationally famous, whatever. They go outside, they make a lot of money quick. The whole career and ideas have gone. They're making a bit of money, and then bang, they're dropped on the head. And you've got all this. You're still getting recognised. Yeah. You go and work in that chippy, and I've been there. I did Hollyoaks for a year. I did a band for 4 years, where I was Wembley and this and that. And then I was working at a bar again, because as soon as I stopped working, I just thought, well, I've got to work. And people, you can't work behind a bar, Ash. And people used to come up to me and they go, aren't you that guy who used to be on Hollyoaks? And then you did that crap band. I'm like, yes, sir, that's me. What are you doing behind the bar? Getting your drinks, sir. What would you like, you absolute arsehole?
Would you like to wear it?
But it's character building.
We had a lot of, well, we're from Essex, obviously, where Terry was from the area of Terry's made, and they're all young when they was on it, and they all worked in waitrooms and stuff. Yeah. And people that have been dropped on that show have had massive issues, because you don't earn as much as people think. They're trying to live a lifestyle to be on the show. Yeah. They get in debt, and then they dropped. PAs, they do a lot of PAs, but stop, and they can't go back to work because they feel like they can't do it.
But they've also lived this lifestyle, and they've probably got themselves in more problems. Yeah. And then whatever career aspirations they did have gone out the window.
But that's why I suppose we're in a unique.
I
don't think it's even that, and it's quite a unique. I suppose I'm in quite a unique position actually. So everyone was like, now everyone's all, because it was cut short because of the COVID. So actually for me doing this series, so it came in quite strong, and I had quite a few storyline because it was just myself. But towards the back end, it was quite light actually. So if you've watched it all, I don't know if you have yet, but quite light for me at the end. So I think it was quite a good balance, and lots of feedback is all just sort of starting to get your humour, and so I do think How I Am has started to come through. I think the first couple, I mean, bear in mind, I'd never acted.
Even having a camera in front of your face, it's so care. You do the same to me. I've been doing it all my life. It's still changing.
So weird.
No matter what, any actor who just says I don't see the camera, it's not true. The best actors in the world will say sometimes you go and it's just sometimes you just not got
that
it.
Day.
Yeah. That's anything. It's sport related. It's everything.
That first episode was literally the first episode. Like, you feel so wooden, and I'm just like, what have I done? Yeah. I'm going, I can't.
To be honest, I was quite natural.
Then, even watching yourself back might not help you.
No.
Because as an actor, I can go, well, I'm going to try this, or I'm going to try. But then you start being conscious.
I don't watch. I watch it once a week.
No. The second day you was filming, right? She's filming. I'm watching, and I'm going to her.
You needed him.
Nicole. You were like, she's banged into the wall. Like, it was hilarious. I was sitting, you know, like when you're doing that, she's having to do something.
The last thing you want is Joe next to you watching it back in it.
And I'm trying to go to her.
No, he's doing it. He's doing it.
I put my hand on my head, and I'm going, this is fucking
doing
horrendous.
The eyes.
This is horrendous. But then when they cut it, you looked alright in that.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, Ashley. Your missus comes home. She says, I'm going on Cheshire Housewives.
Yeah.
You let me be honest.
Well, no, you know, it's one of those, because you've got a few friends who've been around that sort of thing, and, you know, she even mentioned about it. I mean, it would sort of, because I'm a private person like that, and I've been in that industry, and then it would drag me into, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, the thing is,
you never say never.
You can't say never, and that's what I think I learned from Strictly. But the thing is, I haven't got a stunning, massive, beautiful mansion like you guys. We don't fit into that criteria, I don't think. But the thing is, I would always say about that is I couldn't take that away from her.
Yeah.
No,
that's
that's
not just saying the right thing, and that's just actually saying you don't know what journey that would take you on, and what that might bring for you, and not only that, we've got kids again.
Yeah.
So if you just look at it in a selfish money way,
you have to. Yeah.
You know, it's something. So I don't know. I mean, it's
right. I'm texting now.
Yeah.
Production.
You are so right what you say though. Once you have kids, things you wouldn't do before you will do, because it is money related. Now I don't know what Strictly pays, but I imagine it's good.
Yeah,
You know.
it was good for me. But
Six
you know, the
figures?
sad thing is,
Six figures or
the sad thing is they offered me the tour, and Hollyoaks wouldn't let me do it.
Oh,
Which is a shame. Yeah, and half of that is probably the reason you go
Yeah.
out the show. And I didn't say that. Don't quote me on that. But it was awful. So you do all that work. So
And you didn't get the
I was
reward.
I had no sleep for 3 months or whatever. I had a baby in the middle of it. And then they offer you the tour, and
Is that
which
extra
is
money?
actually
Is
more
that-
money.
is it more money?
More money than
Yeah.
what you do.
Oh, that's hard to turn
And
down,
then,
that, isn't it?
and
We
I
didn't have a
wasn't allowed
choice.
to do it. You know, and that was a massive blow. It really was.
But you have to
Did
think
you
this
go
is
back
your-
into Hollyoaks and say, I need a pay rise because you just got me earning 300 grand?
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could.
You know, but you ain't. People don't realise. Some people do. They know you. You're not just on TV. You've got a business
Yeah,
that's affected. I guess at the minute you own.
yeah.
Some people call your place a night. I don't call you a nightclub because I would say you're an entertainment place because you do comedy nights, live music, jazz.
Yeah.
I really like your venue.
Yeah.
Tell us a
Thank you,
little
mate.
bit about what's going on there at the moment. Symposium.
Yeah, well, we've got the bar there. It's a late night cocktail bar, like you say, with all the
Yeah.
entertainment and stuff. And for me, it was an avenue to get live music going again because
Yes.
people don't do it anymore. But
Do you
yeah,
perform with your
all
band?
this- You know what? Again, this is what I was saying about that. It was a way for me. We did an open mic jam night on a Thursday where we have a house band and people get up, and some amazing musicians have come down and singers, beatboxers, everything. It's been great. And it's a little way of just taking the edge off that feeling that I have about doing it, because I don't like doing it. And like I say,
But you're good.
I'm all right. I can do it. I'm getting better at it. And yeah, but it's just fun, and it shouldn't matter, should it? It's like karaoke. People don't do it. They get up once and it's like once you pop, you can't stop.
Joe loves a bit of karaoke.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I'm
But
a good
it's-
singer.
No,
Yeah.
you're not.
But yeah, so now we're in the lockdown, and you know, it's scary times, but I suppose, and
So it's shut.
yeah, it's been shut for a while now, and I think, you know, our kind of that industry is going to be the last to get back on its feet properly, I think, with, you know, this
Well, there's indications that they might start to open up. I see your business partner this morning,
Yes,
George,
yes.
and I was giving him tips. Joe said to him, "Stop running, telling him to run."
She's telling him how to run the bar. Nicole, you've never owned a bar.
I can't help it. I was only giving
He's had it
tips.
for, is it
Yeah.
4 years now? In fact, that's been open.
Yeah, yeah,
Must be 4
yeah.
4 years. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
They're successful.
Well, yeah.
It was only feedback.
But, you know, it's my favourite venue. If anyone hasn't been, it's in Wilmslow. And it is for an older crowd, isn't it? It isn't for the
Yeah,
kids.
well, it's
you
over,
know.
it's over 25s.
And it is dull.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
you're not surrounded by, not idiot, but young,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
yeah.
It
Well,
is
it's for
our
that
age.
reason.
It's
I think.
definitely
Yeah.
an
When I
age.
was
More
younger,
mature
it was
venue.
all, like French Brasserie and all the old places.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember going in there as a younger kid, and you weren't allowed in there, but I knew
You
the
weren't.
owner. And,
Yeah.
and I used to just see everyone in their suits and just having the time of their life. And you straight away realised there's a difference. People older want to have their fun, and you know,
Yes.
the young kids
Yeah.
need a place. So you got Revolution down the road. And,
Yeah.
I didn't want to mention
Yeah,
that.
well, there we go. They're in.
He's a caring, sharing kind of
Yeah,
guy.
I don't like
see?
to mention other
No,
brands.
but no,
That's
I
the
think-
sponsoring.
But but it's I think it will be good. No, as I say, I was talking to George this morning because we bumped into him in the park, and I was just chatting about when it does open up, potential, like how you could envisage, like not, but how I would envisage
You've got
if it was
paper
mine.
tables, haven't you?
So he's saying, is like, would it change to like, because you are a little bit more exclusive,
Yeah.
sort of playing on that a little bit more, because there's more table service with drinks packages, you know, because obviously difficult to bring everybody back to work who are furloughed. I know myself.
Yeah.
So to all of a sudden go from zero to back into work, you know, you obviously by doing sort of, you know, drinks packages, say more table service, it maybe less staff, and then you can
It might
introduce
create a nicer
gradually.
ambience with it,
Yeah.
especially for an early crowd. And the one thing we were going to do is turn it into
Comedy
a kind
night.
of piano bar.
Yes,
I love
And
ah.
that would work beautifully.
There
then,
isn't a
instead of
great.
just a full-on
Your
band,
mum
yeah.
loves. Well,
Yeah.
we love it in the
But, you know,
Marbella. You've got
yeah.
a piano bar. It'd be great.
I think
Yeah.
if they're staying 2 metres apart and it has to be tables service, I think then
Maybe get a table as well.
Yeah.
you have to charge
Yeah.
a premium for that. I mean,
Yeah.
probably more than you are now because you've got to cover your overheads, staff, you have less people in there. Now, I think if you want that, I'm happy to pay for it because at the minute I'd love a night out. So if
Yeah.
it's £600 instead of 300, I don't care. Because
And also people
you've
can
got to
plan
cover
it.
and your
Yeah.
distances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want a night out.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that'll work wonderfully because it's
Yeah.
better than, you know, if you're just going to a Witherspoon's pub
Yeah.
and you've got to sit 2 tables. I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. You
You
need
know,
your own
you
space.
get a nice
that
venue.
You commit to. And
Well,
that-
even if
that
you're
might
only
work
doing it
nicely
once a
for
month,
that.
do you know what I mean? You might be like someone
needs to
that
be
can't
having more
afford to.
than
No,
that,
but no, not you.
Yeah.
I'm saying like people that maybe can't afford to do it every week.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, at the end of the month they can go and do that, even if you're only open a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good way of getting back, and we'd definitely go. And I said like the comedy night,
Love it.
that'd be brilliant, and you could
Yeah,
set
I
up
mean,
that
the
way.
comedy's been fantastic.
That's been really busy, that,
I mean,
hasn't
for
it?
me, again, as a performer, to watch the best of the best. I mean, they're all these guys are on tour around the world. You know, they're not just Mickey Mouse people. They've all been on the big stage. They've all done the Apology. They've all done the Apollo and stuff. And
wow.
I mean, there's nothing better than comedy, and I think sadly it's the only honest speaking language we have in this country. And it's true, you learn the most from the comedians because they're the only arts form that can not get away with it. Because I think it's the right way to put things across. Because if they're saying it, it's normally with irony. You know, Ricky Gervais is the best at it. He'll tell people exactly what's going on, and he'll do it with irony. And what the thick people don't get is that he's actually pointing out that they're the thick ones, and they're the ones biting the bullet about what he's saying, and then they're missing the whole point. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. And sadly, you know, the politics. I mean, look at the world. It's a joke right now. It's a very, very sad place. And you know, it's nice to have some light relief and just hear. And a lot of the time, there's a lot of wisdom in these people. You know, they've been there, done it. A lot of them have had really bad upbringings, and they've come through a lot of stuff. But their perspective makes you always think. It's not just having a laugh. You know, it's like listening to philosophers with comedy. Yeah. You know, I always find that, you know, not always. I'm not saying that.
Some are pretty
you get a lot of absolute lunatics, but that's what I love about comedy. They've always got something to say. Otherwise, you know, they haven't got an act.
This is taking us nicely onto this week's competition.
Oh, okay.
Which I've just come up with. So like Gavin, who won last week, Gavin, make sure you email him. This week, I'm going to give the prize away. It's going to be a night in Symposium. I'm going to buy you a bottle of champagne, and Nicole's going to come out with you to drink it.
Pimping you out.
In Symposium when it reopens.
When it reopens.
To win the night out with Nicole Sealey, I probably will come. Maybe Ashley will.
Yeah, I'll be a bouncer.
You got to, again, register on YouTube, comment. You got to follow me, Nicole, Ashley, and Symposium Nightclub in Cocktail Bar in Wilmslow, and comment.
Okay.
That is the only thing you have to do to enter this week's competition.
And make sure I'm not on holiday, obviously.
It will be an arranged date, and you'll get a bottle of champagne with me, Nicole, and maybe Ashley.
Maybe even make it the comedy night.
Maybe the comedy night.
Yeah,
that's what we fancy.
We can fancy that, and we'll, you know, you can meet us all, and I think it's a really good prize. That
okay,
be good.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, I've got a little known fact.
Oh, here we go.
I don't. You wouldn't even tell me.
No, I won't. This is the other thing about this podcast, actually. I prepare.
Yeah.
Prepared.
Yeah.
Nicole?
I'm just natural.
No.
Yeah, just natural, darling.
Just
information.
Natural, darling.
So, people don't realise that you've mentioned the band a little bit. So I want to talk about this. So, in 2002, you sang the song for Scooby-Doo, the film.
Yes.
No way.
Yes, he did.
I love Scooby-Doo. I like Scrappy best, but
I couldn't believe that.
No, we had it was called Bump in the Night. The band we were in, and it was on the Scooby-Doo movie. So I went to the premiere and
I love that.
The film.
And do you know what? That's the only film premiere I've ever been to.
Oh,
no way.
In London.
I was there. Then.
I went with Scott
bizarre,
Wright from Coronation Street.
Oh no!
Funny is that?
But do you know how disappointed he
probably
is?
met you because I know Scott as well. And that night we were there, and
we went to China White's after.
He probably was there.
With Eubank. Eubank was there, and he was dressed as a character.
Absolutely lovely.
You can do impressions.
Do you know what though?
So tell me about the band. How did that happen?
I'd done Hollyoaks for a year. It was with my best mate, and we ended up being offered this job. It was doing a TV show and a band. So the option was, you know, you leave Hollyoaks to be with your best mate and do a band and a TV show. So still had the acting, still did the music.
All them groupies.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. We ended up... the thing was, what was I, 20, something like that, 20, 21,
It's a boy's dream, no?
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't the kind of music I would want to do. It was pop music, but, you know, it was great. And all the things we did, we had to do all the dance routines and all the rest of it, and it wasn't cool, you know what I mean? When you're that age, it just wasn't cool for me, and, you know, that's all you think about. But the facts is, I mean, my mum played it to my boys now, and it's ours now, and they pick up on all the things I hated about it. They love it, and you go, oh, I was so wrong. You know what I mean? And it's like, but it was an incredible experience. You know, we were going the Brits. We did, like I say, we did Wembley.
You performed at Wembley?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 times.
That's an experience.
That's amazing.
We toured with Steps, so we did all the arenas around. So we did everything you want to do in this country, really. But, you know, it wasn't doing my music or anything like that. But it was an incredible experience. And
can any of your kids sing?
Yeah, they sing. I mean, I play to them every night. I play the guitar and sing to them every night.
Ashley, can you teach me to play the guitar? Joe bought me a guitar.
Yeah, I'll teach you. Yeah.
Because no, this is true. This is quite sweet actually what he did. So when I was about 12,
Yeah.
I used to play the guitar when I was at school, and I loved it. I love musical instruments. I can't play the piano because my hands are just too short. And he bought me a guitar, didn't you, 3 years ago?
Yes.
And I did pick it up this while we've been in lockdown, but I need a bit of help, so maybe you could teach me.
We'll have a little private day, shall we? That?
You know.
Just to teach you. An ugly old one.
I'll play your strings. I've just read as well, you've both got something in common to this year at the minute.
Mm.
You're both up for an award.
Oh, are we?
You're both up for TV Choice.
TV Choice.
Okay.
Nah, there's a bit of a difference. You're up for Best Actor.
Oh, right.
Did you not know?
No, I didn't know.
It's on your Wikipedia.
Is it?
Okay.
I don't. You know, again, I'm pretty terrible.
I'll vote
on
for you if
social
you vote
media.
for me.
And Nicole's programme is up for
yeah.
Best Reality TV Show.
Yeah.
They don't win awards.
Right.
The
But
other
they-
all the other ones do. Made in
But I
Finland.
feel under
say
pressure
that,
now.
say that.
I feel under pressure now because, you know.
No, they're trying.
'cause,
So we
you know,
need to go on, and you need to vote for Ashley for Best Actor.
No, I appreciate that.
And you have won it in the past.
I've not. I've never won an award. I've been in an award category nearly every year of my life and never won one.
maybe
You've won
this is
Sexiest
year.
Male.
No,
2011, 15, 16, 17.
It's all fake news. Fake news.
I think I've been up for an award every
Magazine.
year of my life and
fake
never won
news.
any.
Oh,
I'm just a
I've got you
loser,
down.
like you said at the beginning.
We've got you down.
I won Personality of the Year. It's Trick Awards. That's what I did win.
yeah.
I've
Hey,
got
there we
you
go.
down
Yeah.
online as winning 4 Sexiest Male Awards.
No, I'm not sexy.
You are.
Well, you know what? Maybe it's our year.
Hey, yeah.
Maybe it's
this
a
is
year.
it.
But
Yeah.
no,
you've done everything. Like you've done
I've had a pop.
Strictly.
Have
You've
you done theatre?
music. Have you done theatre?
Yeah, I started off in theatre. I did Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat
Were you
at the Palace
Joseph?
Theatre in Manchester when I was a little nipper.
How did
Yeah.
you run this for me? Did you go to an acting school? This is a bit I wanted to know about.
No, I used to play tennis at a high level when I was younger. And I was going running before school, and my dad was unemployed. He used to take me around the country, and then as soon as he had a job, it was like being dropped on your head. And you know, people like to think it's not about money, but it is. We didn't have the money to go everywhere.
tennis
Didn't have the money
expensive,
to get anywhere. And it was like the first lesson in life. You know, you need that. And I discovered, you know, there was a theatre group called Scamps, the local theatre group. I used to go and watch it. My sister was in it, and I just saw one guy being hilarious in a show, and I thought, that's amazing. I want to give that a go. And through the local theatre group, you know, did a few shows and this and that, and then I got into the National Youth Theatre, and then after that, got Hollyoaks and.
You're born to
the
do it,
rest
really,
is
then, aren't
history.
you,
Well, yeah, I think I just realised I like pissing around and getting paid for it.
Well, do you know
That's what I like doing.
Yeah, but actually, it's really funny because obviously my son plays football, but I actually do think I think he secretly might. Not that he's ever done it,
Yeah.
but I actually think secretly he might have a bit of a.
I've worked
He's
so
quite
hard
funny
with
as well.
tennis, and you train, and everything nothing's given to you, you know, and that's
Yeah,
sport,
yeah,
and I
that's-
love that about. I mean, I'm still madly. I'm a sports
Are you
enthusiast.
playing tennis
I'm
now?
really no, I hardly ever play, but anything with the ball, it's just
Yeah.
competitiveness.
Yeah.
That's
No,
it.
you're
And I've
like
got that
that,
in
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And but doing all that and just basically it's not attainable. That's what I found. It wasn't just about what I did. It will get me where I need to be, and that's probably the wrong message to put out there because it is. If you try hard, you work hard, hard. But in that time of my life, and maybe the fact that when people were watching me, I played better, and when they weren't, I just zoned out. And maybe my mind was. I'm not saying I would have ever been a tennis star.
No.
But I realised that obviously there's some kind of performance
But
aspect in there.
Mental strength is so
huge.
important.
And I think you're
isn't
strong.
it?
Yeah. No, I think that's what I've got from it all. So.
But even this going on, like go back to not sort of to go back over it.
Yeah.
But through like you said, every walk of life through sport. We've talked about it recently. We spoke the other week. For the youngsters, like in sport, whatever they're doing, not just football. Obviously, football is relative to us because we have a young son.
Yeah.
And friends that also kids play. And when we hit lockdown. And I certainly do think there was a difference in my own child's behaviour.
Yeah.
That first few weeks, I don't think he got out of bed for the first few weeks. And I was actually he struggled from being playing high level football to not. And things had not gone so well for him recently. He had an injury, different bits and pieces. So, and is the support out there? But looking at someone, that's why I'm just thinking. I'm actually just talking now. Think someone like you, say that he, looks up to, he's a big fan of yours on the show. Talking about this and relating back to an 18-year-old boy. He would definitely get something, I'm sure, out of that.
I think it's the fact that I've been working so hard for something, and every avenue was a dead end. And
Yeah.
that's, I mean, I think football, there's groups and there's always something there that's available. Tennis is a one-man
Single,
game,
yeah.
and you have to be there. You have to get the lessons.
Yeah.
We couldn't even afford the lessons. You know,
Yeah.
you need a lesson every day. That's 30, 40. We couldn't afford
It's
that.
expensive.
So I was
sport,
playing
tennis.
against the wall
Yeah.
half my life,
Yeah.
but I was still beating most
wall.
of the people in Cheshire. You know, I
Yeah.
got to semis and things like that. But
Yeah.
I think it was this avenue where I found, you know, I had girls around me and lads around me. I was making friends, and I was in this environment which was fun, where you're messing around basically. And then my first audition, I went for the National Youth Theatre, where I had to do a Shakespeare piece and a contemporary piece. I didn't even know what Shakespeare was or a contemporary piece. And I started asking my English teacher to help me with the Julius Caesar thing. And then, remember Adrian Mole, the book?
Yeah.
Oh,
My sister
yes.
had that, and they said, well, that's sort of contemporary. So I just looked through the book for a big paragraph that I could learn, which ended up being an old man speak. And I thought, perfect, I'll do that. And just learnt that.
Just naturally
and
had
did
it.
an old man and did a Shakespeare piece and got the role. And I thought, I did that all myself. And no one's intervened. No one's told me what to do. And it was sort of that empowerment, I suppose, that I can do this. This is all right. And no one stopped me from doing it. And I've got somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I get a job and I'm getting paid for it, for
Yeah.
standing around with a load of pretty girls and a load of fun lads, you know. And
Amazing.
And you're on
this
telly at
is-
17, which is
well,
at the time
it was-
exciting, right?
Yeah, it was just like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's obviously why I found it interesting.
I'm
yeah.
going to guess when you were on telly at 17, you wasn't with Karen then.
No.
You did all right.
Yeah, well, with Karen or then.
Well, no,
Is that a question? Be careful. I'll get battered here. Yeah, no.
It must be exciting seeing
it
it
was
on national
amazing, it was
telly, I
amazing,
mean.
man. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, you know, it's like my mates became my kids, you know, because
Yeah.
obviously you're
Yeah.
making money and you don't need that money, you know. You haven't
Yeah.
got more. I mean, the thing is, with me, I was silly with money. I just spent my money on fun.
I think they all do.
And my
Really.
mates were kids, and that was it. And they'd be like, "We're going out tonight. We can't. Listen, shut up. We're going out. I
Yeah.
need you. We're going out." And a team of 5 of us every night of the week, and that's what you do at that
When
age.
you're
And
young,
luckily
it's
I was,
alright,
yeah,
do you
I
know
was
what I mean?
lucky
Why
enough
not?
to do it, you know. And you know, I learnt a massive lesson with tax. You know, that's why I ended up coming even back to Hollyoaks at the time. I finished the band, and I was literally on my arse, and I didn't even have the motivation to do anything. But I had all these tax bills, and I was like, wow, I've not paid anything.
Yeah.
And you know, I learnt that
Yeah.
lesson. I was
Yeah.
a young, foolish kid, and
But you can
I
pass
didn't
that
have-
on now, can't
But
you?
you
You
learned
can
it
pass
young.
that.
Yeah.
It didn't happen when you were in towards 40. That does happen
But
to
it taught
Yeah.
me that, and if
Yeah.
it hadn't happened then, it would have happened later in life.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's
I say, I
worse.
didn't have my father figure, so when your mum tells you something, it was sort of easy for me to say, "Mum, I know
That's
what I'm
mine,
doing. I
that's
know what
mine."
I'm doing," and
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. That's the
Yeah.
facts, and I learnt the hard way. And I think
That's
what
right,
I'm
Remy. Are
doing.
you listening?
Yeah, but
You're
Yeah,
listening.
You've obviously got something in you that's drove you because, you know, I always say to people, I'm lucky. Right? I've always said it. I've been lucky enough. But if you look at it,
I think you
stuck
make
in
your own luck though
21
as well.
years.
I
No,
really
he's
believe
just
in that.
lucky.
I believe you make
You've
your own
done
luck.
everything you could possibly do in the entertainment industry for 21 years and
Yeah.
been on a soap, which is like, there ain't many people doing that. It's hard work. Everyone I know that works on soaps is like 1-2 years they're burnt out.
Yeah.
They are burnt out. And you've 21 years on and off, regardless, right? And you've got a pop band, you've toured at Wembley.
Yeah.
Everything you've done, you've got to a high
But
level.
yeah, and also you're a
There's something
businessman.
in that in
do
your
you know what I mean?
business. Like, you're doing multiple stuff. We do multiple stuff. I
Well,
understand.
I've got a question for you because I'm looking into doing a healthy food
Yeah.
place at the moment with George.
Okay.
So yeah, because I know you've been there and it's tricky and
Don't ask me.
yeah.
George knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Well, the thing with George
Yeah,
is
George
he's
does,
worked
yeah.
in a Burj Al Arab, Hilton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's an
cla-
amazing cook,
classically
isn't he?
trained with
Yeah.
fine dining, but
Yeah.
we've both become obsessed with this healthy food.
Yeah.
And
I could do that in a
I'm a
minute.
trainer. Well,
Yeah.
you know,
There
it
is a
inside
market
out.
for me personally.
I'm
I think
looking at-
unless you are like, it's different for him. This
Yeah.
is my opinion. We invested, which we've spoken about already. We invested. It was only supposed to be an investment. Joe came on one day. This is an investment. I didn't want to do it, which I've spoken about. But he was like, "Oh, it's not a lot of money," and we were literally supposed to invest the money. We're not chefs,
Yeah.
but what I would say is, so for us, we weren't that part of it. So for us, it didn't work. I think you need to be
Well, straight away
chef.
on that, George is the guy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And-
let me
it's-
tell us first.
Yeah. No,
I agree
He was
with you
asking.
because that's it.
I'm saying-
I pulled him away
Are
from
you
it a
going to
while
go online
ago.
or shop or store?
No, it's shop in Wilmslow. We go.
Yeah, I think
and-
it'll do well.
And I think what's
I
happened
don't.
with this isolation is so many. You know, who's doing well right now? All the food,
Yeah.
and because we all need food.
Yeah.
and it's
and healthy
I've-
food
But
is
it's his passion. I've always clipped his wings and said, "Listen, we've got this to
Yeah.
focus on
He-
for now. We can't do it." But because of this, you realise the bar's not providing for him. Luckily, I've
Yeah.
got my other job,
Yeah.
and it's become a passion of both of ours. We nearly did it a while ago.
I remember.
And now, he's
did it.
thought, let's do it. And
I mean,
here we
he's
go
a fan.
again.
He did me in isolation in April. It was Nicole's birthday.
Yeah.
And he cooked me a birthday meal for
They
Nicole.
always.
So she left it on the doorstep.
Unfortunately,
she ended up in hospital.
I was in hospital.
Oh, so you didn't even eat it?
No.
Right. I've got another one coming to your house. George, I'll ring him there.
It was fantastic. I mean, he can really cook.
He's amazing. He really is. Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm one of them people. I train every day. Right? I train twice a day. I've run this
You're
morning, I'll
eating,
train tonight.
that's not
My
good.
food's terrible, and I've started a bit mentally. I struggle with it, right? So I put about £10 on. I'm on a diet at the minute because I've suddenly sort of kicks in my head and then I get in gear, but it takes me a little while. I'm feeling a bit down about it. I started thinking yesterday there was a healthy food place in a minute. I get all my meals done for me because
I know
that's what
loads
need
of
at the minute.
people that would.
Because I can't sit at home
Yeah.
with a fridge full of food anymore. I've got to have a meal because I'm like it. So
You
I
like
will.
to play a
Well,
game, don't you?
I
Almost.
think we're all the same as well. We live on the go, and you know, if you want to sit in a nice restaurant and do it, that's fine. But for me, it's almost fast. I don't like the word fast food because it sounds like you've got oils.
Well, you'd
and
had from us,
but
hadn't
we
you,
don't
when
do-
we
yeah,
did it?
Yeah,
And I'm not saying that you had some juices and stuff like that. So for us, it just wasn't our model for us going forward. But I
hate
definitely
it.
think
Yeah.
George, because he knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
and that's
But
really
this is it. I wouldn't
important.
go into it, and I've said that to him before.
Okay.
I said, "Listen, George, I want to do this with you because we do
partners.
we're partners,
Yeah.
but my head's not in it, and because of all this, we've been doing a lot of talking, and I love our idea now. It's very exciting, and I think I really think we got something. But then we have our tasting, don't we? And I've been playing with that because I love food as well. I'm a foodie, but also healthy food. How can I get them bits in between that? And let's face it, it's after 6 o'clock. That's when we all
it's a
struggle.
nightmare. That's me.
And
Snacks, healthy
even just
snacks.
going to the fridge and staring at it, going things, and you go, no, stop.
Yeah,
And it's
That's
like,
you.
And
That's
then
me.
then you go, oh, who cares? And who does care? If it makes you happy sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to attain something, it's like business or anything, you've got to be strict. But if you could find that place, and this is what we've got for breakfast, lunch, and early evening, because even at night time, delivery is an incredible thing. There we go. There's another plug. But you end up eating for restaurants, spending a lot of money
Yes.
really for what you're getting.
Yes.
And essentially, that's the market where I think, well, you just want healthy food, you want quality food, and also stuff that can be used for your kids. Because that's another
I'll
thing.
tell you
My
what,
kids
you
are
could do that,
fussy
you
Well,
eaters.
we
so
talked
this
about
is
that,
it.
didn't we?
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really.
Yeah,
I think it's a
well-
really good idea.
It's the next one.
When's it going to be open?
Hopefully in about 6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called the Rap Studio.
It's
very
not a bad
good.
name.
And
It's a
it's
good name.
where Wardrobe is
Yes.
in Wilmslow.
Yeah.
And we've got that venue, and it's
I like that venue. I see
Yeah.
that.
You
Meg.
do.
I
It's
think
just,
so.
location.
Yeah, I think it's a good location.
yeah. But the thing is, again, you want to get in and get out. And a lot of the places, I won't mention names, it's so hard to get parked up and get. And
Yeah, it's easy there.
we know where
Easy
it
there.
is, and you've got all the parking at the
There's
back.
4 or 5 places in Wilmslow that I don't go to because of parking, because I am that person that wants to pull up, get out, get me food, and drive off. I am.
Yeah.
Or I double park. I shouldn't do it, but I do it.
Yeah.
I am
Shocking.
that wanker.
Yeah.
Right? But,
Parking
you know,
wanker.
But I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with everyone being locked down, healthy food, people are putting weight on. Everyone I'm speaking to is going, I'm a stone up. Everyone at my gym.
Except for
clients
me.
ring me yesterday.
I'm
You're
not.
You're £3 up this week.
Oh, this week I am, but I haven't
I'm
been
£2
over.
down this week.
Yeah.
I was £6 up at one point in this week though. That's what I'm like. So,
But that can be the difference between going to bed and waking up, having one of them, and going again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
No, it
mean?
is.
It's ridiculous.
No, it is.
Your
Well,
weight
I mean-
fluctuates a lot like that.
Yeah.
Talking of food, we've got this product today.
Yes.
Nicole's got us. It's a
Okay.
hamper.
Yeah, so basically, just say to Ashley. So obviously, what I've done is we've said we'll review a product each week
For free.
for free, but it will be an honest, appraisal of the product, and hopefully some constructive criticism back if there are any, or add-ons, just from a business model.
What is this product, Nicole? You're going on, and I want to
You're
know
just
what
so
the product
rude.
is.
Right, okay, so Amy contacted me through...
What's the company called?
The company is called Brit Breeze. She
love it.
contacted me through Instagram.
Oh.
And yeah, so
Big on the gram.
Big on the gram. Well, not as big as Ashley, but
Joe _
getting
Sealey
there.
one.
So basically, they're luxury brand
Ashley TD.
hampers. So yeah,
Just getting in the flow now. I like that. Good. Sorry.
yeah. So we're all about the self promotion. It's fine, Ashley. You crack on. So basically, it's a luxury box hamper. Now, she was made redundant at the beginning of the pandemic, and she's only 18 years old. And
Amazing.
she's so after 9 days of the pandemic, she was obviously her first job that she'd worked there from when she was 16 years old. She's now 18. Anyway, she's always been really interested in British products and stuff like that. We were talking about this recently because my daughter's doing fashion and she was saying about doing a British brand, so quite interesting to read her backstory. Anyway, so what she's done is she spent her time researching local brands, British-based products, and she's put together obviously stuff that she likes. Now I have to say we've had a few nibbles. Now we've got some nice smelling soaps.
I was going to say, you don't want me to eat that, do you?
Oh, but there is
What is this? Is this a bush chucker challenge?
So Joe,
Somebody else sent us a soap last week and it looked like a white chocolate bar and I did buy it.
It smells nice.
Yeah.
She made these?
It's all sourced by companies that are struggling because of COVID.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
British companies.
Well, Joe's got a list of the products
So
that are within
in the one
hamper.
we've got a popcorn, coffee, Cornish honeycomb chocolate, 2 packets of biscuits, an apple juice with ginger, which I've got to tell you is maybe the best apple juice I've ever had. It's Bentley's. I tell you what, I'm drinking it now. It's phenomenal. A barbecue sauce, sea salt caramel fudge, a conserve and some honey, and some other bits and pieces that I've wrote down. And because of my writing,
You can't read.
I can't read it. There's a chili sauce. I'm giving this a Joe Sealey 9 out of 10. I love it. In fact, Amy, I don't know what your background is. If you was one of those people that are emailing in with business ideas of the competition from last week, the long-term one, I'd probably invest in this business.
Okay, so
How about that?
So Joe gets quite excited. So we have to rein him in a little bit. I actually think that you've got the basis of a really, really good business, and it might be more of a cottage business to start with, which is great. And at 18, what a great way to start. The only sort of thing for me that I would do is it came in a box rather than a hamper box. I think if you're creating luxury brand, it really doesn't. The presentation's real key. I mean, it was lovely.
box is great,
No, what was really good is she'd wrapped it all in the straw, so it felt very natural, and I really liked the branded paper, but I think it really must come in a basket. So for that, I'm probably going to go with a 7, but you can definitely lift it just by adding the basket. It's not low because you have to have something at 18 years old. You can always do better. I can still do better at my age. I'm thinking a new husband now.
Now what
guitar lessons?
Now if you Google Brit Breeze and you go on their website, I mean, these start at £15, so you're saying about a basket, 15 quid you're not getting a basket, but maybe if it's top end at 75, then you should.
Or she could add it on as an option. Maybe add it on as an option.
She's offering everyone on this podcast a discount, and it's if you go on and when you check out, if you put Nicole 10, you'll get 10% off. I will be putting this on Instagram as well. But now I love it.
Yeah, what do you think, Ashley? But I mean,
I think, from the array of stuff you've got, it looks lovely. It looks really nice.
Are you going to take some of it home?
Yeah, we'll give
tonight.
Yeah, we'll give Ashley some to take home because, as he's just said, he's a big foodie and there's too much here for us.
And how old is she? She's 18. She's
18.
She's put it all together and sent it in to say this is
a website.
Fair play
There's
to
a
you.
website.
I mean, like I say, anyone doing anything, and it's just the aspiration to do something.
And look, I think it's what we talked about, with going back to sort of mentally, which is what I've been telling people. Loads of people have messaged in to me about, what would you do about starting businesses, different stuff. And certainly at this time, which is what I want to use my platform for, a bit more on the business side. So I think this is great. And this is, everyone can take a bit from this and say, actually, even if you've got no money, you can start to try and do something. You might not, Rome wasn't built in a day, was it?
Hence what we were saying before about you make your own luck. It's
something like this.
You have a go and you don't know where it might lead you down a different path, but the fact that you've come here and even spoken on here about it, that's that's
so well
really
done,
good.
Amy.
British
well done, Amy.
I really like it. Contact me for investment or publicity.
And also, now just 1 second. And also, what's going to be really important, and I think from my point of view, what I like about this is that where we fell down a lot with the pandemic, I'm not talking about this type of business, that we really don't produce a lot of stuff in the UK. So from a business perspective, why everything was so delayed. So actually more British products, regardless whether it's food,
and all the farmers as well.
Farmers.
Amazing. Let's have a look at it. NHS, the one thing we're trying to get rid of, which is a joke. We don't look after that. And look at it now.
Oh, it's
we're
amazing.
all clapping, which we knew. But I don't understand that.
No, but actually,
then farmers, all the stuff we've been going about local produce, and this country does make its own stuff, but sadly we sell it all abroad.
Unbelievable.
Exactly.
And now it's like you haven't got an option. And again, the crazy thing about this whole thing is it's like the world's just said, listen, everyone take a breather. I'm a planet, I need help. So that's been the pollution, everything else, and we've all had to sort of reevaluate everything. And if something positive can't come out of this, then we're just stupid.
I mean, before this, we with apples being picked in England, sent to India to be waxed and sent back. I mean, this is like
crazy,
mental,
isn't it? It is bizarre.
I mean, it's
and unemployment is going to be a little bit lower. So actually,
why not create your own product?
So so now he's creating jobs as well, and people that were doing different things could start to cross over. I mean, there's lots to do.
The other thing I like about this, Amy, is that I think you've hit the market right, because I think
and Joe likes food.
No, it's not just that. With people's income and spending, people don't want to spend hundreds of pounds on a nice gift for someone, but if you want to spend 15, 20 quid on this, you're getting a nice array of products for a low amount of money. And I think that's the target now for any business.
But what I was trying to say is, if she's saying luxury, I think maybe then you have to be careful how you word things. So because no, it is. But what I'm saying is, the costing is probably more affordable. So I think maybe there's a little bit of a confusion as a consumer. I looked at luxury. I looked at luxury thinking, where's my basket? But actually, if I'm looking at the pricing point, actually I'm thinking great value for money.
But that depends who you're aiming the market at.
Exactly. So it's making sure you get your market correct.
I think you're right about it, and I think you can charge more for that.
Yeah, well, she can add it as an add-on.
But you're saying even about that with the hampers and stuff. We started doing the farm thing, the local farm produce, and they just send you a box of veg, which is really funny because it comes and then and I don't really ever buy a Swede, so the things are coming and you're going a bit old school and you go, right, okay, that's actually quite good fun. What can I make with this? So I found a whole new avenue, which I would have never have, because you just do your thing, don't you? You go down, so it's actually been quite nice even stuff like that. And you
Joe's
go,
quite a good cook, isn't you?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy actually being given that, and you go, and my missus goes, oh God, we can't use this. It's like, no, just go like that. And we're very lucky, the internet. It's not hard, is it?
I do that.
You've only got to look at one idea and go, oh, I'll whack that with that, whack that. And actually it becomes a bit more creative and fun.
What I've worked out is if you even put any kind of ingredients in Google now, it will give you a recipe for an apple, Swede and something else. You can put them in and it'll come up that you can make this really fun.
And then they go, how have you done this? You go, well, what I did was. I haven't even had my phone on me.
I made Irish bread cake. I'd never heard of. I googled what ingredients I had to make a cake, which I didn't have everything, and it came up, you can make this, and it was delicious.
The kids have decided that Joe's a better cook than me now.
Oh dear. Well, that might be a problem in the future. You'll be like, no, I'm not.
No, I enjoy
it tonight, please, Joe.
I find it quite relaxing. I think it's helped me through this, as in it. I don't mind spending an hour cooking something because it wastes an hour of my day, and actually it's probably the main thing I think.
Well, I think chefs are quite crazy, so I think I think goalkeepers are a bit crazy, and chefs.
Well,
so I think really,
I'm now the Hollyoaks football team's goalkeeper.
Plug away.
Anyone else that wants me to play?
He's pimped himself out for free. It's
so
fine.
good.
Now, I don't know if you listened to our podcast before, Ashley.
No,
I've not yet. No.
Right, we have a section called "They Hate Us Because They Ain't Us."
Right, okay.
Right, and we're at that section now. I'm going to let Nicole go first so you get the gist of it. Right. Now, what we basically say is we read out what nasty things someone sent you in this week on Instagram.
Right. Okay.
Nicole gets loads.
So actually this week I haven't. I've had, so we have a little look at, like what people... Twitter's Twitter's been a bit quiet. Everyone's been all right on that. But I did get one in... to me this week, and now I don't disagree that I look a little bit bigger on the TV. I'm not going to lie.
It adds 20%, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I do. I look a little rounder when you've got short arms and big boobs and a round face. It's
What do they say? Come on.
Right. So basically, someone messaged me and said I really should try hard to put the fork down.
Fuck you very much.
So I was like, I replied with kindness personally. So no, they said I should try putting the fork down. So I put back they should try being kind. Yeah, I know. I said they should try being kind. They didn't respond. But I haven't actually had that much hate this week. Have you had any?
Well, I had one, and it's only from. Well, it's a continued.
That was me, Joe. I'm sorry. It was just a bad moment.
I've got some because I've replied to them.
Yeah. Well, I bet you revel. So I love it. I've got to say, I'm not allowed to do that anymore. I used to thrive on stuff like that, but go on.
So like again, last week, public figure, 2,000 followers. So I put, and I love it when someone takes the time to reply on my posts. They come back with, 3 seconds of my fucking life I'm never getting back.
So it wasn't
which I liked and put a smile on.
Yeah. Which has not been that mean, actually.
Fuck you very much.
Yes.
For spending the time to message me. I don't follow you.
Yeah, and I've had really lots of love this week.
Have you got any you would like to share?
Or previous.
Or does everyone love Ashley?
I think, but especially because of the storyline I've been doing right now, people have been very. It's
what about a
nice
previous one then? A classic.
Because you got villain of the
year.
Well,
I used to. I mean, I love a bit of confrontation, and I thrive on it. And But I'm not allowed to do me on
Are you not?
social. Well, not really,
I know,
no, because I'm representing a show.
Of course you are.
You know, I've
Yeah.
said things and done things in the past, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. And
You get that phone call, don't you?
but Mum, years ago, I got a letter through the door, and in the letter, it was like a weirdly written thing with like kisses, like in one of these stamp things all over it. And it was from a man saying that he loves the way I drive my car, and it was this weird.
Your
like,
personal home.
yeah, my
Yeah.
personal home,
Okay.
and it talked about my car and this
Yeah.
and that, and there was a picture of the top of a bald man's head in it, and I was like, that is a bit on top, man. What is that? What is that about? And it's like I could have even taken the letter, and even the fact it was personal, and he knew
Yeah.
about my.
Yeah.
I was even like, okay,
Yeah.
and then. And I remember saying to my mum about it, and she goes, and she just took it on. I said, yeah, I've been given this and told her all about it. And she's like, really? I said, that's a bit weird, isn't it? And said nothing of it. And a couple of weeks had gone past. Turns out it's her and her mates having a laugh. Isn't that? I would never
think
put that
that's
to her. I think it was hilarious.
Oh, that's good.
But I must admit, it was always in the back
Yeah.
of my mind, just thinking,
Where am I
just
driving?
checking out bald men's heads.
yeah,
and thinking,
I mean,
is
I've
that
had a
the
few
guy?
creepy
I
ones.
thought
I
you
mean,
were going
really
to say
creepy
then,
ones.
when you said it was the top of an head, I thought it was going to end up being
Yeah, the
someone's
wrong
dick.
head. yeah.
You'd like to think your mum wouldn't say
I just couldn't
that.
believe they'd gone to all that. It was her and some friends and their mate, and they just took a picture. They thought, we'll just wind him up and do that. Because you know what I'm like. I've
Yeah.
obviously given
I
them
think
loads
that's
on one
brilliant.
day, yeah. And they was
In
like,
fact, I might
she
say
had one up on me, yeah.
Yeah, no, so not too much hate.
No, but
so
send
mine's been-
some more hate.
So yeah, a little bit of hate. But I said the
Send some
first-
mates so I can get back on this show. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's because it's quite. I think that first week, we talked about it before, and for me, the first week or two, especially when you first never done it before, and when you start to, people have got a real strong opinion about whatever. It's a bit like taken aback,
I was
isn't it?
hated as a kid because my character was just an
was a
arsehole.
bit of a dick,
He
was
wasn't
he?
even he was just an arsehole. He used to come into, you'd have a conversation, I'd come in and go, you're a dickhead, basically. That was my, and he was just a nasty person. And a lot of the time, I used to read it and go, I can't just. No one just does that. So that's why I sort of made him a bit of a comedy, because I'd do it as if I changed it to being he thinks he's funny.
Yeah.
You know, that guy comes
Yeah.
in, he's just
Yeah.
and it was about that, and I think I even got biggest CUNT of the week in one of the top magazines at the time.
I don't think you could do
and
that now.
I beat Tom Jones and Peter Andre, so that was my claim to fame,
wow.
you know.
So you did get an award.
Yeah, I got an award, see? It's a bad one to get.
It's not hard to
but
be
it's
Peter
okay.
Andre, is it? You know, that's why.
So not too much hate this week.
No. And that brings us lovely to the end of the show.
Okay.
So, again, if you want to win a night out in Symposium with me and Nicole, on me, like the video on YouTube, register, subscribe, follow us all. The winner will be picked next week. Gavin, if you're listening, I need you to email in if we haven't got your email. If not, we will contact you this afternoon. And I'd really like to thank you, Ashley, for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank
and
you
I've-
both for
I've
having me. It's
really
been
enjoyed
lovely.
having you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Nicole?
really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Nah,
coming in.
my name's Joe Sealey and I'm a husband.
And I'm Nicole. Am I Nicole? I'm Nicole Sealey and I'm a housewife, apparently.
And this is...
I'm Ashley TD. How are you?
We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye, guys.
Moment in time, oh, it could mean nothing without